Welcome back, everyone, to the Corsace Closed Grand Finals. The tournament is finally at its conclusion after almost 2 months of competition. The bracket has been almost entirely filled out except for one and potentially two more matches. FlyingTuna versus Utami in the grand finals is about to get underway. FlyingTuna coming from the winner's bracket and Utami coming from the loser's bracket. Both of them ready to go, well practiced on this pool, and for FlyingTuna, ready to pick into Utami's weaknesses after yesterday's matchup between Utami and I'm a Fancy Lad. My name is Dio, and I am going to be bringing you the broadcast for this match. We are just waiting on the players to give their okay to get ready before we get into the bans and picks here in the grand finals. Yesterday, we saw Utami go 7-2 up against I'm a Fancy Lad in a relatively dominant show of strength, but you cannot forget the 7-2 finish that FlyingTuna had against I'm a Fancy Lad in the winners finals as well. Both of these players on recent very hard pools taking down the same opponent in similarly dominant fashion. Many close maps for both FlyingTuna and Utami in their wins versus I'm a Fancy Lad, and so typically you expect this match between these two giants to be very, very close. Yesterday versus I'm a Fancy Lad, Utami had quite a lot of picks into some of the more tapping-intensive maps, such as Nomad 2, and also picked into some of the hidden favored maps, things like Hidden 1 as well as Hidden 4. Bakuwaku, basically every hidden map getting played, or excuse me, Hidden 3 picked up by Utami. Quite a lot of the raw mechanics maps that were played in that match were picked by him, whereas quite a lot of the more gimmicky maps in that matchup were picked up by I'm a Fancy Lad, and I expect some of that to be the same here up against FlyingTuna as well. While Utami had fantastic scores on the low approach rate hidden map, he did struggle on some of the more multifaceted sorts of maps like Killer Beast in the hidden pool. He did struggle a little bit on Send in Life on the awkward aim, anti-aim map that is still well over 8 stars at that point. Meanwhile, in FlyingTuna's matchup versus I'm a Fancy Lad in the winners finals, we saw FlyingTuna end up having a pretty good time on not only some of the really tough to read maps like Nomad 6, the AR6 map in Nomad, but also having a very good time on a lot of the more speed-focused maps in the pool. Rina Tensei in Double Time, for example. Basically all of the Double Time maps that got picked in that matchup going the way of FlyingTuna, all of the speed maps in that matchup that got picked going his way as well. So a pretty strong performance on one of the skills that just did not get played in Utami's matchup versus I'm a Fancy Lad yesterday. So Tuna going into this with a little bit of less information than usual for the grand finals. Not able to really see how Utami did on the speed maps in the grand finals pool, but Utami in general having a fairly good time on a lot of the other more tapping intensive maps in a lot of the pools. Definitely a Nomad 2 player. Did have a very strong showing on Rina Tensei in his matchup versus Intercambing in the losers bracket during the finals weekend, and generally has been picking into a lot of the both tapping and reading intensive maps, whereas a lot of those, once again, multifaceted maps do give him a slight bit of trouble when it really comes down to it. At this stage, a lot of these maps do end up combining quite a lot of different skills at the same time. You've already seen every map get played this weekend thanks to the show match that we just had between Takedo and Matthew. Speaking of multifaceted maps, one of the maps that I kind of want to call attention to in this matchup as something that is likely going to be very close between these two players is something like Nomad 3. A map like that between Utami and FlyingTuna is likely to be incredibly close. Utami, a fairly good reading and aim player, and Tuna, one of the best tech players in the world. Talked about that map a little bit during the show match, but that is a pick that I am very likely to see Tuna pick, or that I am expecting to see Tuna pick in this matchup. Especially the hidden pool, same as in the matchup versus I'm a Fancy Lad, is likely going to be contested between these two players, Bakuwaku and Send and Life in particular. I think definitely coin flip sorts of maps for both of these players. Bakuwaku probably well favored towards Utami. Hidden 3, Hidden 4 likely favored towards FlyingTuna, and Hidden 1 likely a toss-up between these two players. A 91 roll for Utami to get us started. We do have both players in the lobby ready to go for the grand finals. It's going to be double time, 3 banned out by Utami, not wanting to deal with playing with fire, with Tuna having a pretty good history on tech in particular, playing with fire in the double time pool. As Tuna is a pretty well-known speed player, also I think makes quite a lot of sense. And after Utami's performance on Hard Rock 4 yesterday, winning that by over 100,000 score against I'm a Fancy Lad, 475k on that for Utami, it definitely makes sense to see that banned out by FlyingTuna. We do see Nomad 3 banned out by Utami. Yep, Tuna definitely wanted to pick that one, and unfortunately we're not going to get to see him play it in this matchup. Nomad 2 also banned out here by FlyingTuna after Utami's performance on that map yesterday. 312,000 score for Utami, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 222 BPM spaced accelerating and decelerating streams all over the map. It is such a tough pick to do well on. And we are going to see a first pick of Hidden 1 get thrown up by FlyingTuna. We did see this map get played yesterday. This is Send and Life, Fedora's prototype difficulty of this song. It is a custom map for this map pool, by the way. This is not a ranked version or a loved set. It is unlike the Setia map set of this song. About as far away from that as you can possibly get. This is all awkward aim, anti-aim, tons of linear angled jumps, tons of wide angle jumps as well, and the swaps between high and low spacing in this map just make it a nightmare to try and be consistent on, especially with Hidden applied. And this, as a first pick for FlyingTuna, says, yeah, I know you can put up 400k on this, and I'm confident I can do better. Good luck, have funds are out. We are into the first pick of the grand finals. Already see all of the linear and overlapping jump patterns in this map making their way right at the start of the map. Both players holding onto the combo through the intro, as you always like to see. Pretty much identical acts between the two of them as well, both of them only having dropped 1/100 so far on this pick. Really in the intro section here, where it is a lot easier that guy time from the hardest part of the map. You're not expecting either player to break on something like this. They both have practiced hard for the grand finals. We already saw the fruits of Utami's efforts yesterday versus I'm a Fancy Lad, hoping to show even greater scores in this matchup. FlyingTuna is going to make it hard, especially with that early slider break from Utami. It's matched by a miss right afterwards from FlyingTuna, however. And the score is basically just neck and neck as the combo resets are almost mirrored. for each combo reset that Utami had. FlyingTuna, however, has only had 2 misses to about Utami's 4 so far. 4 misses and 1 slider break from Utami, 2 misses from FlyingTuna. But the score lead is so marginal at this point. It's only 7k in Tuna's favor after the first PI. It's actually a slight combo lead for Utami due to the timing of the misses. The accuracy advantage ever so slightly in Tuna's favor is going to make it a little bit more difficult for that lead to go over to Utami's side, however. That score lead probably not going anywhere, probably just stays right where it is. However, if Utami finds a miss like that on one of the stop and go jumps before one of the PI times, it's going to make it all that much harder to amass any score. And with these continued breaks coming through for Utami, FlyingTuna not having any of the same issues, able to hold on to the combo where Utami isn't, and can build up some of that score lead. These anti-aim jumps really giving Utami a lot of trouble, but the linear wide-angle jump patterns not giving Tuna pause. Only one of those patterns in the Ki time actually hurting the combo there, and Utami now does have a slight combo lead, but it's only 50 combo, and with the accuracy advantage that Tuna has, with the almost 50,000 score lead that Tuna has, it's gonna take more than just 50 combo for Utami to bring this back, and he doesn't even have that now. A reset for both players on the super wide jumps going into that long slider. More misses coming through at the end of the map here for Utami. It means that this is basically all sealed up. Even with these overlapping jumps coming through at the end, Tuna now able to hold on to them. Both of these players hitting all those wide-angle jumps, hitting the slider jumps to boot here at the end. It's just ever so slightly above 400k now for FlyingTuna. Utami unable to match his score from yesterday, but even if he were able to, Tuna still ever so slightly coming out on top. 435k for him on the first pick here in the grand finals, and a successful 1-0 start for FlyingTuna. And now we're looking for a first pick to come out from Utami. Based on yesterday's results, I really want to see Bakuwaku come out as a first pick. Either that or something like Hard Rock 1, but he goes with Nomad 5. I'm so surprised to see the speed pick as a first pick for Utami here. Tuna definitely still a fairly good speed player, one of the better speed players in tournament play at the moment, but Utami saying, no, I've got your number on 270 BPM. I'm going to be completely fine on this speed pick. A lasting promise by Lars. Zelk and Panda's heavenly difficulty, as we saw in the showcase just before this map. 270 BPM streams in this map. Not bursts, streams. There are multiple 17-note 270 BPM streams in this map, as well as multiple 25-note streams at 270 BPM in this pick, all interspersed with slight finger control patterns that you typically see in great core maps, as well as lots of consecutive smaller 3-note and 5-note bursts all over the place throughout this pick. It is an absolute terror to have the fingers for this type of map. To have the raw speed for this type of map requires somebody who is extremely well versed in the speed skill overall in this game. Both of these players starting it off completely fine, hitting the first burst. Utami with an SS out of the gate. Okay. The fact that Tuna has 91, under 90% accuracy right now, really shows just how ridiculous even 97% is on the intro for this map. How quickly Utami adjusted to this BPM is actually ridiculous. And here we get into some of those longer 270 BPM streams. FlyingTuna struggling to combo through them, but Utami says, nope, I've got this, holding on to still an FC a third of the way through the map. Accuracy be damned, he's holding on to the combo, and that's what really matters. Act is just a secondary gameplay element as long as you can hold on to that combo. As long as you don't show any breaks, you're still going to come out on top with a higher score. And in fact, he's almost double FlyingTuna's score at the halfway point. This is an absolutely ridiculous performance from Utami right now. He's still holding on to the full combo 2/3 of the way through. Finally drops a miss on a jump after a triple at the end of a slider. The actual streams not giving him much trouble on this map, though, is just insane to watch. You don't expect people to be able to stream 270 BPM to full stream 270 BPM, but here we are. 2021 Grand Finals matches, and this is the caliber of player you have. No wonder the pool is so damn hard. At over 8 stars for multiple maps, still these players not showing much weakness at all. 440k for Utami, and combo over halfway through the map is absolutely insane. And after that pick, I think we can turn this narrative of speed on its head. Utami clearly not picking into any of the speed maps in this pool on purpose yesterday, because that was a stunning performance. There definitely would have been some speed bans coming from FlyingTuna if he knew that that's the kind of score Utami can put up on Nomad 5 in this pool. Looking at the rest of the map pool, we still have DT4 left up, which mirrors Nomad 5, I think, probably the most in this pool. There's also DT2, which is still under AR 10.3 and 285 BPM, likely a possible pick for Utami. Even then, something like Hard Rock 3 might still be an option. About the same star rating, 234 BPM, and still focused on the burst with quite a lot of flow aim attached to them in that map compared to the more stack lenient Nomad 5 here. Next pick for FlyingTuna, however, is going to be Nomad 4 Antithesis by Natsukawa. This map, star rating lies, it's only 7.63 stars, but at 148 BPM, it's basically 296 BPM awkward aim jumps. If you try to flow aim this, you're probably going to have a bad time. You're likely snap aiming a lot of these patterns because they play a lot like those awkward aim jumps that we already saw in Send and Life. So going for this pick next from FlyingTuna definitely makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of the same types of wide angle jumps, awkward aim, and anti-aim where you get high spacing into low spacing into high spacing once again. And those types of jump patterns can become just very, very difficult to deal with whatsoever for basically any player, especially at this sort of BPM. Good luck, crap funds are out. We should be into the map shortly. This is the second pick for FlyingTuna. Utami had a fairly good score on this yesterday. In fact, came out on top versus I'm a Fancy Lad. 409,000 score for Utami and almost 1,000 combo on this yesterday. So this pick from Tuna says, yeah, I can beat 1,000 combo. I'm ready to see it. He does get off to a fairly poor start at the beginning of the map here, note locking a few of these awkward aim jumps at the beginning of the map. Utami Real holding on to the full combo, holding on to good accuracy as well. The beginning 80 combo probably not going to matter all that much for FlyingTuna here. It likely comes down to whether you can consistently combo those TIs. And with that kind of performance from Utami, with the confidence that FlyingTuna has picking this into him, you expect Tuna to be able to consistently hit some of these TIs. But it looks like he's having some trouble with the aim overall, finding a couple under aims on some of these jumps, and Utami definitely not having as good of a performance as yesterday. Is finding a couple of misses here and there. Did have a lower score on Send and Life. Is going to have a lower score on this one as well, unless he's able to pull out some ridiculous combo in the second half of the map. But FlyingTuna, so far, the less consistent player on this map. It is combo advantage for Tuna, however, due to the timing of those misses, and through this PI, both players really holding on completely fine. Yeah, none of the back and forth jumps here right after the Ki ends, giving either player much trouble whatsoever, with FlyingTuna finally dropping on some of those jumps. Utami now, once again, big combo lead, up about 400 combo with that most recent miss from FlyingTuna, and already 45,000 score in the lead for Utami. This is looking fairly good for him. The accuracy to boot up ahead of FlyingTuna's by 1.5%, likely due to all of these misses that FlyingTuna has accumulated throughout the map. Utami looking relatively comfortable in comparison. Did have a little bit of inconsistency earlier on in the map, and is going to show that once again. Tuna now rewarded with the combo lead for comboing through the middle of the map. And into the next PI time here, as FlyingTuna finds another drop. Just not able to put together a high combo that Utami has had. Now 450 and 550 combo for Utami in two separate sections of the map, but FlyingTuna really not breaking that 400 combo mark at any point. And despite consistently getting to about 300 combo every time he does miss, it's the frequency of those misses that's hurting him so much. It's only a 40k score lead because he can consistently get to 300 combo every single time, but you need to have a high combo in order to combat those high highs coming out of Utami right now. Both players hitting these sections is frankly ridiculous. All of the stop and go aim control in this map is so ridiculous to see coming out of anyone at all, let alone either of these players in a tournament match. Utami does finally find a slider break during the stop and go aim control section, whereas FlyingTuna is now finally hitting one of those high highs that we were talking about that you need to hit versus Utami when he is popping off like this. And FlyingTuna now has the combo lead, is going to have the score lead in just a second. Needs to hold on though, as Utami actually finds a couple of misses. I was going to say he had some combo to stage a comeback if a miss comes through for FlyingTuna, but no longer FlyingTuna with a little bit of room for error, but might not even need it. Does actually need that room for error. Now only up 14,000 score. It's about a 70 combo lead for Utami. He fumbles the ball though, drops the combo once again at the last second in the map. Tuna with a very slight combo lead, a very slight score lead, less than 20,000 score in his favor, but it looks like it's going to be just enough to edge out the win here on Nomad 4, and that was so close between these two players. And Tuna definitely staging a major comeback there against Utami. That first half for Utami was so good. He looked so clean at the intro and the first half, but you can see in the second half more frequent misses coming through for him, and basically none for FlyingTuna all the way up until almost the end. 600 combo, the highest combo in the lobby for FlyingTuna. But to be clear, Utami's score from yesterday was actually higher. There is the potential for Utami to win that map on bracket reset if we do get there, so that's definitely not a convincing win from FlyingTuna. It was an extremely close pick that could have gone either way. I am honestly hoping for more of these very close picks to come through. So far, the picks Hidden 1 and Nomad 4 for FlyingTuna have been relatively close compared to Nomad 5, the first pick from Utami, but we're going into a completely different type of map for Utami now, and something that he performed extremely well on yesterday. Bakuwaku by Absolute Castaway is such a tricky sort of AR aim map. It's all of this super wide angle jump aim, not so much the linear aim that we saw in Hidden 1, not so much the stop and go aim that we saw in Nomad 4, a lot of the anti-aim there, but a purely focused on wide angle jumps. And at AR8, that type of aim in particular is so awkward to try and deal with, so tricky to get right consistently. And even with approach rate 8 and with Hidden, you expect a low star rating on a map like this, but it's still almost 7 stars in this pool. It's just incredibly difficult. You know, despite being one of the lowest star ratings in the pool, I believe actually the lowest star rating in the pool, you go into solo play and you try this map with Hidden, you are going to have a bad bad time unless it is a skill set that you are intimately familiar with, and that is definitely the case here for Utami, putting up an incredible 440k on this map yesterday. Over 500 combo max on this pick is ridiculous to think about. You see an early break at the start of the map for FlyingTuna. Utami, however, still holding on to the full combo, 99% accuracy right now. There's another couple of backdrops coming through for FlyingTuna. He's looking a little bit less comfortable than Utami on this pick. Definitely expected, given that this is Utami's pick. There's finally a miss that comes through for Utami on one of those wide-angle jumps. Tuna had combo as well right behind Utami, but does find a miss right afterwards. It's an almost flowing jump that catches both players off there right after the first PI time. Big combo for both players on this map once again, as each of them are still so good at the same types of skills here. This hidden reading for both players is absolutely ridiculous. And once again, both players holding pretty good combo. Utami dropping the ball on one of these square aim sections before the second PI time. Tuna now holding on to actually big combo and having a large lead because of about 230 combo up on Utami right now. Does finally find a couple of misses and gives the combo lead back over to Utami, but that was scary for Utami for a second. Almost giving score lead over to FlyingTuna on this. This is much closer than Utami versus Fancy Lad on the same map. Utami dropping the combo once again, not quite having the same performance that he did yesterday, just ever so slightly worse on each individual map that we saw yesterday, but still able to come out on top on this one so far. About 3/4 of the way in with a combo reset for both players happening very recently. It should be a win for Utami if he's able to hold up the same level of play throughout the rest of the map. You see a miss come through for FlyingTuna. Utami able to hold on through these wide-angle flow-aim jumps. Does finally find a miss, actually. About an eighth of the map left. There's just barely any map to come through, but it's score dropping for Utami as he drops combo in multiple places. FlyingTuna holding on to the combo, but I don't know if there's even enough map left for a comeback to happen for FlyingTuna. It's about 20-25k in the favor of Utami right now. Only 100 combo lead for FlyingTuna. And with these misses coming through for Utami, it's looking like it's going to be very, very close here. It's only 10k in the favor of Utami. Is there enough map left for Tuna to close the gap? It doesn't look like there is. It's just barely enough for Utami to come through. The early lead that he built up coming in clutch at the end of that map. He started 30k ahead at the 3/4 mark, down to 8k, barely more than 8k at the end of the map. So Tuna was hot on his heels all throughout. And to be clear, that's a very similar score to what Utami had yesterday. 440k yesterday and 396k today. FlyingTuna is making Utami sweat for sure on that pick. That was an incredibly close map. We are now into Nomad 6. This is just a ridiculous map. It is CS 1.5 here. Well over 7 stars. And get the copy boxes ready because this one is just, it's worth it, man. It is absolutely worth it. This map is so tricky. There's so many different rhythm changes in this pick. It is all entirely focused on the changing rhythms, the ability to tap it correctly and get act together on this map. But even then, the cursor velocity that you'll need on for this type of map is so high. With it being CS 1.5, to reach this type of star rating, to reach 7.27 stars with CS 1.5, you need so much spacing, so much raw speed strain in this map, and it definitely shows up. You actually have streaming with CS 1.5 in this pick. And while this was picked by FlyingTuna, looks like at the start of the map we see Utami being a little bit more consistent, holding on to the combo, whereas Tuna did find a break and is lower in accuracy by about 3% as well. Utami looking to try and take a break point here early on. And that break from Tuna coming through does not do him any favors. Look at this combo for Utami. Finally drops, but had about 400 combo built up and is more than double score for FlyingTuna right now. Despite the accuracy for Utami being at 93, it's 88 for FlyingTuna, so it's not doing him any favors in trying to build up more score. Did drop the combo once again. I can barely keep track of what's actually happening on the screen, just due to how huge the circles are. Hard to keep track of any misses that are actually happening for both of these players, but it is about a 150 combo lead for Utami, and about a 3% accuracy lead as well, and that's all resulting in over a 100k score lead. This is looking relatively one-sided, actually, for Utami, as FlyingTuna struggles to put together the accuracy. He has not had these high combos that Utami has had throughout, multiple 400-plus combos for Utami at this point in the map, and is not showing any signs of slowing down, even into more of these changing tick rate doubles, or changing beat stat divided doubles, excuse me. You still see Utami holding on through the space stream, through the space 4-note streams. Both players actually holding through that section. Tuna hits those, apparently, but it does not matter in the end. Utami comboed almost all the way to the end and put up almost 500,000 score on Large Circle, Incident, Shijan, Corsace, Guanbin, Nomad 6, Bean Method, Map, Bu, Kanung, Da, Cursor, Go, Burr. Utami's cursor definitely went burr. He was incredible on that map, almost 500k on that, compared to 420k from yesterday. That was absolutely incredible from Utami. And that was, by the way, 0 misses from Utami, I believe. Only spider breaks on that map is just absolutely ridiculous. And that's our first break point. It's 3-2 for Utami. He's picking into Double Time 1 next. Swedex Suite by Kotoko. The AR 10.5 Double Time 1. 266 BPM. Well over 8 stars once again. 8.34 stars here in DT1. And with how Utami did on Nomad 5, you know for a fact he's not going to have trouble tapping this sort of map. He is ready to go on any raw speed requirement that this has. The quarterback difficulty of Swedex Suite looking juicy for Utami right now. You do see a couple misses from actually both players here at the start. Utami finding a couple misses down at 92%. FlyingTuna not far behind him in terms of combo, about 10 down, but 98% accuracy for FlyingTuna on this. Looking good on the approach rate in particular. You can see a little bit shake on Utami's cursor for sure, having some trouble with the approach rate adjustments, and who can blame him at AR 10.5? There's very few players who are comfortable on approach rate this high without hitting. FlyingTuna does have a little bit of trouble with some of the aim in this map as well, does find a miss-aim. It looked like just a raw miss-aim, not even an over-aim or under-aim on one of those jumps. Utami, however, able to hit that disc spike through the KI time, and Tuna miss-aiming afterwards, did hit the disc spike, but isn't able to hit the patterns afterwards. Utami under-aiming the start of one of those streams does make it, however, close in terms of the combo. There is still 70k score lead in the favor of Utami at the halfway point of the map now. Both players resetting the combo, and completely even in accuracy at this point means that it's all going to just come down to the second half. But for Utami's side, he's going in with what is now a 100k score lead after FlyingTuna drops a whole slew of misses there, and on a burst as well, meaning dropping the accuracy, dropping the score down by quite a bit, and just is not able to find a consistent footing on this sort of map. Utami now up almost 130,000 score on Double Time 1, holding on to the combo, holding on to the accuracy, at least up at about 94%, does drop on one of those bursts finally at the end of the KI time, and gives a little bit of an inroad back for FlyingTuna to make up some of the score. But these bursts at 266 are just relentless, even in Double Time 1, and are giving Tuna quite a bit of trouble on the tapping side. He's going to be unable to bring back this score, as Utami well over 300k at this point, approaching that 350k mark, compared to just barely 200k for FlyingTuna right now. This is absolutely going Utami's way, and we are going to see a 4-2 scoreline in the favor of Utami coming from loser's bracket. It's actually a relatively similar miscount for both players on that map, but the accuracy and the more consistent combo brings Utami victory by a pretty wide margin on that pick. And now Tuna, definitely on the back foot, has had a breakpoint stolen away from him, and needs to try and bring that back if he wants to win in this set. He's going to start off with Hidden 4 to try and make that happen. Technical Master, picked up by Tuna.
I am a vinyl junkie.
This map is horrifically difficult on flow aim and on finger control in the hidden pool. It's not quite as draining on the finger control as something like Killer Beast in Hidden 3, but you can already see these space stream patterns coming through on Utami's screen right now. The high spacing in these patterns is just brutal to try and be consistent on, especially with Hidden. And it's looking like Utami is better consistent on some of these patterns, and FlyingTuna having a little bit of difficulty adjusting from that AR 10.5 BT1 into Hidden 4 here. And Utami's still SSing, by the way. Like, Tuna's definitely comboing very well right now, but this is some ridiculous act from Utami. Does finally drop some hundreds. Both of them hit the back and forth stream, and Utami does finally drop the combo. It looked like over-aimed, went too high up with his cursor, and now FlyingTuna, unfortunately, misaims right afterwards, drops a ton of misses, ton of accuracy as well, and drops the score down 40k almost, to 150k to 200k now for Utami. But Utami similarly note-locking and dropping the score down below even Tuna's, down to 138k from up above 200k. That note-lock on a map like this, if you lock on a hidden stream, a hidden space stream at that, you are just going to have a terrible time. He loses quite literally 70k score, and now Tuna, well ahead of the 200k mark, is able to pull ahead Both of them miss at the very end of that highly spaced stream right after the wiggles. It is Tuna dropping a few more notes than Utami on each of these streams. However, he finds some note lock of his own. Both players dropping, and it's within 10k now of each other. As Tuna drops a lot more accuracy, it drops the score down, but both players continue to drop these notes at the very end of the map. It's going to come down to just the very ending here, and Tuna, unfortunately, note locking on one of the streams. Utami as well at the very end, but it's still enough. He's able to recover just barely at the end of that stream and keep the score together. It's another win for Utami by the skin of his teeth. 9,000 score up against FlyingTuna. Basically the same accuracy, basically the same combo. Look at that massive drop in the diff graph, though, on Utami's side. 50 misses where that note lock happened. And as for the rest of the map, better accuracy in general. Tuna barely avoiding note lock in so many cases, but the act drops were just too much. It brought him down too far to keep the win on his side. And it's less than 10,000 score, but Utami's going to take that dub and move up to 5-2.
I'm a vinyl junkie.
We are the f***ing jumpers.
We are going to be going into double time 4 now for Utami, who's already picked 3 speed maps so far in this matchup. That DT3 ban almost seems like a throw-off to get Tuna to pick into double time, because at this point, all of the speed maps that Utami has gone through, including Nomad 6, with how high BPM some of those more stacked B-Snap devices can be, makes it honestly straining on the speed. But Scream Out, mapped by Dada specifically for this pool, 248 BPM streams and bursts, as well as finger control in the form of lots of doubles jumps in this map, makes it very, very draining on the raw speed and stamina. Looks like we are just about ready to go. Tuna already starting off the map. Looking fairly good, actually. Utami dropping a lot of accuracy at the start, but they should pretty much even out here. Lots of these bursts going to be draining on the stamina for both players. And it's Tuna who's first to break. Does find, I believe, a missed tap on one of those bursts, as Utami is able to hold on to the accuracy. 95% to the 88-89% coming out of Tuna right now. And it really does seem like that DT3 ban from Utami is either an issue with the approach rate, an issue with the finger control, or just an attempt to throw Tuna off and get him to pick into speed, because, man, he has been so dominant on all of these speed maps throughout the Grand Finals so far. Despite not playing any of them yesterday, he's looked so good from Nomad 5 to Double Time 1 to now Double Time 4 as well. I mean, in the show match, we had accuracies in the 80s on this map for both Taquito and Matthew, and Utami is just demolishing it, still holding on to full combo a third of the way through. Almost 700 combo and 96% accuracy on this is absolutely insane. This is a relatively slower section of map. He's going to get a little bit of free combo here at the halfway point before we get into the next PI time. And we're now back into the burst, back into the double jumps that populate the harder sections of this map. And he just looks so comfortable on this, still holding on to a full combo. He's making it look easy. Meanwhile, Tuna over there on the left-hand side is just honestly cannot compete on this map right now. He is at below 200k, 90 accuracy, and Utami, meanwhile, is just styling over there on the right-hand side of the screen. Finally finds a miss after 1200 combo, but has 540k to his name and a 5% accuracy lead to boot. There's absolutely no way this goes over to Tuna because Utami has just popped the hell off once again on one of these speed picks. It does find a couple more misaims near the end of the map, but it's really not going to matter. Over 600k on this pick for Utami, and taking into account the DT multiplier, it is 1.2 on score v2. That's equivalent to over 500k Nomad on this map if you're dividing by the DT multiplier. That is just insane from Utami. Really, really strong score there. And expected, honestly, at this point with how the other speed maps have gone, but this is looking just as dominant as yesterday's matchup versus I'm a Fancy Lad. He's already at 6-2. FlyingTuna with the next pick, hoping to start staging a comeback to avoid the bracket reset, but man, Utami is making that look like a foregone conclusion right now. Look at all that pink there. He's won 5 maps in a row at this point. Only the first 2 picks for Tuna going his way. And a reminder for everybody watching, this is the first bout of Grand Finals. Utami is coming from the loser's bracket, and Tuna has not lost a match yet in Corsace Closed. That means that if he loses this match, he still gets a second chance, in the bracket reset. Utami needs to win against Tuna in 2 separate best of 13s back-to-back in order to win the Grand Finals and be crowned the champion. Tuna's going to do everything in his power with that winner's bracket advantage to prevent it from happening. And especially with this map, I think it's a very good pick. Killer Beast, Hidden 3, not by mirror. This map has no FCs on the leaderboard, let alone hidden FCs. It is just incredibly difficult. So much going on in this map, from 220 BPM space streams to changing BPM to 1/3 finger control to high spacing alt patterns to slider tech and finger control. You have just about every conceivable skill in this map. It honestly works as a sort of Vaxay map tiebreaker, and to boot, Vaxay is #1 on the leaderboards. That gives you an idea of the kind of map you're in for. See a couple of early breaks coming through for Utami. This is definitely the map that he struggled the most on versus I'm a Fancy Lad yesterday, so I do really like this pick coming out from FlyingTuna, even though the map itself is very, very hard to be consistent on. Utami had a really rough go of it yesterday. 209k on this pick. It was actually overall his lowest score in the match, so picking this into him, definitely a smart move from FlyingTuna. And you can see Tuna having a very good time with this, actually. Still holding on to a full combo. 95% accuracy going into the slowdown here. Does actually drop on the square jumps going into the slowdown section. It's the 1/6 burst in this part of the map. And that is already a big score for FlyingTuna on this map. You say, oh, only 180k, but 95% on this map with hidden is really something else. This pick is so difficult to be consistent on, to get good accuracy on, with how often it changes BPM, with how often it changes rhythm and beat snap divisor, as well as timing points. It really is such a tricky map, and the finger control to boot does not do you any favors on this. So FlyingTuna with 95% accuracy, Utami with almost 94. is definitely not bad at on hidden by any means. And the combo that FlyingTuna had at the start of the map, as well as comboing through the slowdown section, means that he is in the lead by about 60,000 score at the moment. Hits the slide attack section just fine for both players, and they both drop on the space stream, which means it still favors FlyingTuna, holding on to this about 70,000 score lead now as Utami continues to find misses on these higher BPM space streams with hidden. Definitely one of the things, looking at both Technical Master and Killer Beast that Utami has struggled on in this match so far, is being consistent on those space streams with hidden. There's one thing that FlyingTuna can take away from this match, that he can count on being slightly better on those space streams with hidden, because Utami has struggled on both of those picks so far. He's definitely very good on the overall hidden mod category for Tuna in this map pool, and is continuing to hold on to combo through this triple spam and slider aim section as well. 94% accuracy, over 300k now for Tuna. Would have beaten Fancy Lab's score from yesterday already for FlyingTuna right now. Tommy performing better than yesterday on this pick as well, and finally I think come into his own a little bit. Was underperforming a couple of maps compared to yesterday at the start of the match, but is now putting up even better scores and actually surpassing I'm a Fancy Lad score likely by the end of this play. So FlyingTuna going beast mode, 400k plus on hidden for this. Definitely a necessary score line to put some fear of the hidden modification into Utami. A nice pick for FlyingTuna to bring it up 6-3. A-rank Fortuna with 8 misses on that. Yeah, that's cracked out. That is one hell of a good score from FlyingTuna. Take a look at the leaderboards on this map and see for yourself. There are very few plays with a high combo and even fewer with hidden on the leaderboard at all, and for a reason. This map is so difficult to not just chain miss an entire space stream on. And FlyingTuna making it look easy enough. Only 8 misses, quite a few of those on jump patterns rather than stream patterns as well.
That's why I'm flinging it track like the swinging it back. That's why I'm bringing it back, bringing it back. That's why I'm flinging it in the axe.
We are now looking at the next pick for Utami. I'm not lost. I would hope he goes with a speed map at this point, because Nomad 5, DT1, DT4 have all gone his way by pretty significant margins. He has not seemed bad on any of those by any stretch. In fact, he seems fantastic on the speed, even compared to FlyingTuna. And I'm not sure why he thinks that's going to be a bad pick, because that is exactly what I was hoping he would go for. Ball Sniffer by Synthomes, the next pick up here. This map is so difficult. 285 BPM bursts and streams in this pick makes it so tough to just have the raw speed for. It is slightly above AR10, it's AR 8.6 with no mod, so AR 10.07 with double time, but that doesn't do you too many favors on the note density. It is just packed full of those consecutive 285 BPM bursts, plus a lot of finger control worked into the map as well. And that seems to be a recurring theme in this double time pool, is lots of burst Sandor streams plus finger control as a requirement at the same time to just completely destroy the left hand of any player trying to compete on this map pool. We'll see how these players handle it, as Utami, contrary to a lot of the other double time picks, starting off with pretty poor accuracy. But Tuna not really able to take much advantage of that, as he has pretty similar accuracy as well, and has dropped a combo a couple of times here. Utami dropping quite a few misses on some of these bursts though, and Tuna able to hold on to the combo means that the accuracy and combo advantage now in Tuna's favor. Maybe can pull the score back over to his side as well, but drops too much accuracy, drops the combo once again, and it's basically just neck and neck. It's 5k score lead about for Utami right now. with 87% accuracy for both players. Yeah, this map's kind of hard, by the way. Just a little bit difficult for 285 BPM. And these consecutive bursts are just making it so difficult for either player to recover any stamina at all in this map. Tuna is just sort of fumbling around a little bit, but even Utami is down almost below 80% accuracy. Both of them at 82, 81% accuracy here. It is so difficult to get any score together whatsoever. And in fact, the score lead of 15,000 is a relatively high percentage of Tuna's 55,000 total score right now. Utami in the lead by a significant margin just due to the combo. Despite the accuracy, that's a secondary gameplay element. He's able to hold on to the combo, has about a 100 combo lead up against FlyingTuna, is going to continue to extend that score lead because of it. But man, it is so tough to watch this type of accuracy try and pull together a combo. Utami actually drops a bunch of misses, and now Tuna did have the combo advantage there for a second. Unfortunately, unable to hold on to it for long enough, but evened up a lot of the score. It's now around 25,000 score lead for Utami, but he once again has combo lead, has a slight accuracy advantage as well. And with those continued misses coming through for FlyingTuna, Utami looking better and better on this pick by comparison. Does find a couple of misses. FlyingTuna now can maybe take advantage of these chain misses coming out of Utami at the moment. Is holding on to 200 combo, but finds a miss there. And with less than a quarter of the map left, about 13,000 score in Utami's favor, 10% of FlyingTuna's total score. It does look fairly good for Utami. They've got about similar combo, and there's not a lot of note density here. And a break right before the end of the map. And it's very close to the end of the map. Those breaks for Utami and the combo for Tuna making it extremely close. 6K by the end of that one. But it is Utami at the end of the map coming out on top. And that is going to bring us to a bracket reset. GG, well played, 7-3 in the favor of Utami. And that is gonna be it for the first bout of the grand finals. Don't go anywhere. Go refill your drink, refill your snacks, because FlyingTuna and Utami will be coming back for a second round in the grand finals. Utami has evened out the bracket. FlyingTuna no longer with that winner's bracket advantage, and either player can win the entire tournament now in this next best of 13. Indeed, one of them is going to come out on top. Likely in around 5 minutes, we'll likely see a short break for the two players and then get started. So we at the broadcast are going to take a short break as well. When we come back, we'll be joined once again by Utami, FlyingTuna, and Kay. I'll also be joined on the desk by Fiery Rage. So thank you all for watching. Go refill those drinks and snacks. Come back in about 5 minutes. We're going to be here broadcasting the actual grand finals, the bracket reset between FlyingTuna and Utami. Welcome back, everyone, to the bracket reset here in the grand finals between FlyingTuna and Utami, or rather Utami and FlyingTuna, as now Utami has turned the tables on Tuna, has put the pressure on after that 7-3 victory in the first bout of grand finals coming from losers bracket. And who wouldn't be excited for this bracket reset after how close so many of those maps were between those two players? My name is Dio. I'm going to be casting this matchup once again, but this time around it's going to be a duo cast. I'm joined by Fiery Rage here for the bracket reset. Fiery, are you excited? I'm excited.
I am very excited, Dio. This should be very interesting. The picks around this time, I'm hoping they're different, since most of the picks from the last match seem to have been focused more on DT and Hidden, and the Hard Rock pool is just seemingly not touched at all whatsoever. I don't know if it was like banned out, but nonetheless, I do think we'll probably be seeing a bit of Hard Rock, hopefully, in this matchup.
You have to think that Tuna is going to lean into something else, right? He definitely performed very well on a lot of the Hidden pool. Hidden 1, 2, or Hidden 1, 3, and 4 in particular, everything besides Hidden 2, he did very, very well on, but the Nomads and the Double Times were really Utami's stomping ground. He showed so much proficiency on the raw speed in the first round of grand finals that it's hard to see Tuna picking into that at all. Rather, he's probably banning out a few of those speed picks that gave him the most trouble, and probably gonna start picking in to some of those Hard Rocks. Like you said, I would love to see Tuna start picking into stuff like Hard Rock 1 and 2, likely not picking into Hard Rock 4. We saw him ban that out in the first matchup versus Utami. Saw that score that Utami put up against I'm a Fancy Lad in Losers Bracket Grands and said, no thank you, I don't want any part of that. But Hard Rock 1 and 2, definitely different beasts, and Tuna, especially on something like Hard Rock 1, the highest star rating map in the pool, should be able to put up a very good score, known for that ridiculous aim consistency.
I mean, you have to imagine that Tuna is going to be changing his bans up, right? Tuna's actually going to be winning the role. He predicted it. Congratulations, Tuna. But you have to imagine that he's going to be changing up his bans, right? Because Double Time 4 was a map. It was a map that happened, I think. I'm not really sure. I will get clarification on that. But I'm not really sure that Tuna... Yeah, okay, well, my guess was correct. DT4 is immediately gone.
Yeah,
no real surprise there.
I mean, he more than tripled. Utami more than tripled Tuna's score on Double Time 4, right? And it's not like that is a one-off sort of map either. You've got almost double score on DT1. You've got Nomad 5 where he got more than double score as well. The only speed map really where it was close was Ball Sniffer in DT2. So I expect that one to stay up, but DT4 and Nomad 2 I think are pretty strong bans coming out of FlyingTuna in the bracket reset.
So will we see Hard Rock 4 open, because then that leaves Utami a possibility to pick that as well. Yeah, it was picked during his match against Fancy Lad. He got 470k on that. Whether or not he can replicate that, of course, is to be determined, but...
With that momentum coming off of the first round of Grand Finals, 7-3 up against FlyingTuna is a pretty fantastic scoreline here for Utami. You have to think that he's got to feel confident after that, right? So being able to replicate some of the picks that he had yesterday and probably improve on some of the scores from early on in this match. Things like Hidden 1, things like Nomad 4, where they were very close, but he didn't quite perform up to the standard that he set yesterday. That might be possible now for him because he's coming in to this second round into the bracket reset with momentum, whereas for FlyingTuna, you have to think about a mental reset. You have to think about a slightly different strategy going into the next round of the Grand Finals, and to hopefully get something else going for himself, to hopefully get his own ball rolling. Definitely had a couple of good picks at the start in Hidden 1 and Nomad 4. I'm expecting to see Killer Beast get picked once again because that was a truly decisive map in FlyingTuna's favor. But we'll have to wait and see what his first pick actually is, as Utami is the player picking first right now.
He's going to be going with Nomad 5, not entirely surprising considering his scoreline on that last time and the fact that he missed it. This was a deficit of almost 200k between Tuna and Utami the last time it was played. However, not too sure if that will be the case this time around. We might see Tuna might be a bit more awake, warmed up now. Not too sure. We'll find out. But the bans in general are... Sorry, you can go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, if he's not warmed up after the first round of Grand Finals, I don't know what's going to warm him up. Because they played basically every speed map in the pool that was left up, except for DT3, so you've got to be warm after that. Bans are a little different. Nomad 3, DT3, though, are the same bans for Utami as the first round.
Yeah, but we have the entirety of the Hard Rock pool open now, which makes things a bit more interesting. We never saw Hard Rock touched at all, as I said in the previous matchup, so having all of them open gives a bit more incentive, I would say, to pick that.
Yeah, and I think for Tuna, once again, a different strategy going into the second round of Grand Finals is a must. You know, you probably start off picking into the hidden pool, but when it comes down to it, you may want to go into that Hard Rock pool just because Utami has not really been touching it at all and has been doing so well on the Nomad and Double Time pools.
As we get into the map here, this is Nomad 5. This is the speed map pick in the Nomad pool, and you can see right off the bat, this is indeed a speed map. 270 BPM bursts and streams all across the map. Absolutely brutal, and we're seeing Tuna struggle a bit with them, but Utami is going to be breaking as well.
And the accuracy much closer this time around too, 90% for both players here. Utami unable to recreate the score that he had at the start. That miss aim from Tuna is brutal, just not quite going far enough to the start of that triple and finding another combo break. And it's going to give about a 50k score lead over to Utami at the halfway point, but looking far closer for Tuna this time around. Utami's score last round was 440k, Tuna's was just barely over 200,000 score, so Tuna definitely looking a little bit better on the pick this time around, but Utami, in similar fashion to the first round, combo gaming his way through this.
Yeah, and his accuracy is also building up pretty nicely. It's at a solid A rank now, at 93%. He actually is about to surpass his score as well, 400k. He is nailing this ending. What?
Yeah, these are 270 BPM streams, by the way. He does finally drop a bunch of misses, and Tuna is able to hold on to the combo. Is this the possibility for a comeback from Tuna? He's hitting the long streams. He actually hits the curve stream as well, but he slider breaks right at the end of it. And it's just not meant to be for Tuna on speed, it seems, in this matchup, as even with that high combo going into the ending, even with Utami not quite performing up to the standard that he set in the first round of Grand Finals, Tuna, unfortunately, unable to match that accuracy, and that 3% difference really shows in the scoreline. It's 91 to 88, and the exact same max combo for both players.
Solid 2 miss from Tuna, though. Very, very good showing from him compared to last time around. It's going to be hidden 1 for Tuna's first pick, so this is the same first pick as last time, not too surprising as well, since I believe he won this.
Yeah, he won this by almost a full 100,000 points as well, 434k to 351k in the favor of FlyingTuna, and you know, it definitely makes sense for both players to just stick with their original first picks. They both won their first 2 picks from the last match, so I don't expect them to change too much about their strategy at the start of the map. Maybe FlyingTuna picks into Killer Beast instead of into Antithesis. Antithesis was a fairly close map. It was less than 20,000 score in Tuna's favor, and that was his second pick. So maybe he changes that up, but the very first pick definitely can stay the same for him. Send him life here. This map with so much anti-aim, so much awkward aim, so many linear type jumps in this map that are just so tricky to try and get right. And you almost have flow aim style wide angle jumps as well. But at over 8 stars, that type of angling is just so horrendously difficult to be consistent on.
Yeah, if you see a combo above 500 on this map, call the police because that's not okay. Like, there is no chance of getting a 500 combo on this map, and that has been pretty consistent with the match results. I believe the max combo so far has been Fancy with 443 on this. The map is just so consistently difficult with these wide-angle jumps, and you're already seeing some of them, but it just gets even worse later on in the map.
This intro section really is an intro, because once you get into the KI times like here, you go from super high spacing wide-angle jumps like those right into these super tiny jumps that just create so much cursor velocity control in the map, and both players struggling with it for sure. It's Tuna coming out slightly on top after the first PI time, about 30k up, and about 100 combo up to boot. 99% accuracy as well to his name, so looking fairly good here up at the start of the second set of downtime in this map. It's really those PIs that are the more difficult portions, but look at all of these super small anti-aim jumps into the very big spacing. It's so easy to just miss on nothing in the middle of the map with a pick like this, so the consistency from both of these players to combo in those downtime sections is really what you look for, because that's where all of those combos come from. That's why all of these combos are below 500, because once you get to the KIs, it's just impossible to hold on to a combo through an entire KI. Look at those giant
Excuse me,
jumps.
Tuna? Excuse me, wait. What is Tuna doing?
He's gaming. He's actually gaming.
Wait, this is not okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if he hit that, that would not have been okay. That would have not been alright, but I feel like that combo that he had just held right there is probably going to solidify this map for him. That's like a massive blunder happens, but Utami is struggling to find a combo right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's already 100k up. Like, that is a massive lead when you consider the overall score for Utami is still under 300k. 100,000 score lead is huge. And with only a quarter of the map left, it's not looking good for Utami on this one. Probably Tuna going to be picking this one up. But as expected, honestly, after the first round, we already saw him win this against Utami once. And so winning it a second time around is not unexpected at all. He does struggle a little bit here in this last PI, but that 100,000 score lead is more than enough buffer to make sure that he still comes out on top.
Yeah, it would take pretty much a full miss on everything in order for Utami to win this, and with no combo to boot, this will be Tuna tying it up 1-1 on his own pick. So we get back into Utami's pick. 6 miss from Tuna. That is not okay. It doesn't beat Fancy's 5 miss from yesterday, but that is still not okay.
Yeah, that is kind of ridiculous. Tuna 7 missed that in the first round, and then 6 missed it this round. Improved the combo by about 100 as well, so very, very well done from FlyingTuna there. About 30k higher score the second time that he played that map. Really nicely done. And you have to expect another speed map to get picked up by Utami. He's going to go with Double Time 1. We saw that pick work out extremely well for him, paying dividends heavily. 500 combo for Utami, almost 400,000 score. Meanwhile, 200,000 score and 278 combo for FlyingTuna in the first round of Grand Finals. So definitely an Utami favored pick by a pretty wide margin. That's almost double score. So he is definitely favored to win this pick, and I think looking forward for FlyingTuna, you likely go into Killer Beast after this and figure out which maps you're trying to do well on afterwards.
Yeah, I imagine after those picks are settled, we'll probably be seeing more out there picks like Hard Rock. I imagine Utami is going to just stay with, well, obviously DT1 since he picked it, but I imagine he probably will go for DT2 again. Even though that was really close, I do think that it still favors him on paper after Nomad 5.
The problem with that map is that it's just so difficult to put together any accuracy at all. when it's such a high overall difficulty. But the same can kind of be said here, and Utami is really not having any troubles with this. It's a couple misses so far for FlyingTuna, as well as 92% accuracy, but Utami is just beast moding the TIs here, hitting the diff spikes once again. He hit those the first time around too, mind you, but he didn't have more than 500 combo in the first round of Grand Finals, already beating his max combo, and 98% accuracy halfway through, already at 300k for Utami.
This is an 8.3 star map.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Excuse me. And okay, this is just Utami's map. This is already set and done, but he will be showing that he's human, I guess.
Yeah, finally finds a slider break and misses out of frustration afterwards. A little bit of cursor dancing, a little bit of trolling there. But, yeah, like you said, he's done. He doesn't need to play anymore. He's good.
You could literally just not play the rest of the map, and you wouldn't lose. That says a lot about this score deficit right now. So this will be 2-1. It's going to be Tuna to follow up, and we did say that you will most likely probably pick Hidden 3 as Killer Beast. Yeah, almost 500k on an 8.3 star map. This is just your average everyday things. This just happens sometimes.
Average everyday DP player, honestly. 500k, 8.3 star map, no big deal. Simple, honestly.
This happens on a daily basis.
Yeah, but honestly, this is, it is pretty incredible coming out of Utami. You don't expect that sort of score on a map like this, on a pool this hard. You expect the players to just be skill capped. They come up through half the map. So, really ridiculous stuff from him. As for FlyingTuna, he should definitely be looking towards what the next pick is. We've mentioned Killer Beast a couple times. I could see him going for Technical Master as well. He did lose that in the first round, but it was only by 9,000 points. And
that map was also, like, just to add on to that before you move on to something else, that was mostly just determined by no walk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was FlyingTuna having a lot of trouble on ACK due to that note lock, like you said. So he really did have, I think, a generally good time with that map. Much lower miscount than Utami.
Ooh, okay. Hard Rock 3. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, this is what we were mentioning at the start of the match, the Hard Rock pool, trying to lean into some of these unpicked maps. I definitely didn't think he was going to go with Hard Rock 3 as a first pick. I maybe would have expected something like Hard Rock 2 instead, just because it is completely untested water, and for the fact that this is still 234 BPM space streams on Hard Rock. The stream height in this is so ridiculous because of the BPM. They're not quite spaced out a lot of the times, but there are so many streams in this that if you start them on the wrong note, you just entirely miss the whole stream. And that type of patterning at 234 BPM is incredibly brutal.
Yeah, we actually have not seen this map picked in any of the matchups so far. So we have no idea how either player is going to perform on this. This is a wild card. Up in the air.
And to boot, we only saw Hard Rock 4 between Fancy Lad and Utami yesterday, so
we did see Hard Rock 1.
Oh, we did see Hard Rock 1. You are right.
Well, yeah.
You are right. That's an aim map. It doesn't count. That's not a real Hard Rock.
It's an aim map.
That's just an aim map. That one doesn't count. Stuff like Hard Rock 3, Hard Rock 2, we just have not seen whatsoever, and that's really, I think, more a test of the mod than something like Hard Rock 1, where if you have the aim for it, you're probably reading AR-10 perfectly well at this skill level anyway, so you can just pick into it for the aim alone. But this type of map you pick because you are good on the mod, because you are good on the BPM, because you are good on this type of mapping.
get right into it here. This map is 8 stars. That is a common occurrence in this pool. This pool is absolutely ridiculous. However, this is the shortest Hard Rock pick at 2 minutes, and it just gets going instantly. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about with that stream aim. You've got entirely spaced out streams. You've got a lot of wiggle streams at 234 BPM. I just want to repeat that. This is actually a speed map in the Hard Rock pool, and the stream aim required for this is on another level. Apparently, Utami beyond that level, because he's still holding on to full combo over a quarter of the way into the map. 98% accuracy to boot through the
SS
1/3 as well.
What? This is already an insane showing. 100k point difference to boot already, with like 500 combo advantage, now growing. He will finally miss, but Tuna has nothing. Tuna has nothing to match it.
Look at the space doubles in this map and tell me how you amass a sizable combo through this type of patterning. You just don't. And unfortunately for Tuna, Utami comboed everything before this. There's not a way that you build up a score lead when your opponent does something like that to you in the middle of the match. You have to have impeccable stream aim. You have to be completely on point. And unfortunately for Tuna, it's just not the case. He's misaiming some of the heads of these streams here and there because he is a human being, unlike the robot designed to play Osu that is Utami right now. He is just demolishing this entire map pool.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Look at the spacing of these. This dude is playing like higher BPM than Freedom Dive at this spacing, and he's hitting this. What is this? What?
Yeah, I mean, this is just stupid.
Excuse me.
This is just stupid. What is this?
I'm quitting the game. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, this is an absolutely ridiculous performance from Utami. FlyingTuna definitely had an okay score on that map. 20 misses, and that accuracy is still not bad. That combo is still fairly good from FlyingTuna. This is not to downplay his score whatsoever. Utami is just playing at the next level completely. These scores are insane coming from him, and they have been through this entire match so far, through the first set of grand finals and into this bracket reset as well.
I don't even know what to say. That is absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to be seeing a follow-up with Hard Rock 4. This is one that we have seen before. This is picked between Utami and Fancy, and Utami, I believe, got 470k on this. So, more than comfortable on this map, definitely.
Yeah, it was first picked by I'm a Fancy Lad, by the way, who, to his credit, got 373k on this map. 6 misses, 94% accuracy, 500 combo. Fantastic score from him. Too bad he was up against Utami, who beat him by over 100,000 score, with 700 combo and pretty much similar act and only 3 misses on the map. And because it was left up this time around by FlyingTuna, Utami says, "Don't mind if I do," after Hard Rock 2, and goes right into Usewa. This map is just some next level sorts of slider aim and slider following on Hard Rock. And little known fact for a lot of players, Hard Rock actually increases the OD on maps, and OD increases the difficulty of sliders as well, because you have less leniency for the slider ball, the actual thing that you have to follow when you play a slider. So not only are these gigantic sliders completely cross-screen, but you need to follow them more closely than you would on Nomad as well.
This map is also ranked as well, which means that there is a Hard Rock leaderboard, and the best Hard Rock score is from Utami. Just to give you that sort of feel. However, Tuna did 3-miss this. So, on paper, this should be interesting to see. We're going to be seeing Tuna break on that repeat, though, but he does have the accuracy to at least hang in there. And welcome to Sliders.
And Utami hits those sliders. Tuna as well is having a completely fine time with a lot of these larger sliders. Utami does finally find a slider break, though, in between some of the larger sliders. If Tuna can combo through this section, he's going to be rewarded with a pretty hefty combo lead going into the rest of the map, and he's actually got it now going into the back and forth jumps.
Oh, but these back and forth jumps are brutal. The spacing on these. He's going to be getting through the hard part of it at the very least. So now he has a bit more chance to build up his combo here. The score gap is not really that big, though, even with that combo.
Yeah, Tuna absolutely needs to hold this combo through the easier sections. If he can make it into the next PI, he'll likely be able to combo through Utami's combo as well.
Utami is going to be breaking.
Slider broken.
Now it's Tuna's driving seat. How far can he take this? Not that far, apparently.
Not very far. He does find a break on the repeat slider right before these big old slider jumps once again. You may as well call them slider jumps because they're just cross-screen sliders, and at that point, it is a jump from end to end of the screen. But Tuna now 40k score up, 45k score up. Both players with some consistent combo resets here, and the same accuracy means that this score lead really isn't going anywhere for Tuna as long as this pattern continues. And with the exact same combo as
Utami, these act drops and misses, though!
No. Oh,
that actually, if that continues, that could be massive. Because now Utami has slight combo advantage, only 25k points of difference, and Tuna just keeps missing on nothing!
And now we get
Utami combos this!
Yeah, it's even more brutal slider aim than before, but
No way,
Utami is
comboing this! What?
At all. What is he doing? He finally misses on some of the easier patterns at the end here, saving Tuna's score just barely. Tuna hits the back and forth as well, and FlyingTuna is just maybe going to be able to pull off the breakpoint against Utami here. Up 8,000 score, it's going to come down to the very end of the map, but it is enough, 11,000 by the end. And FlyingTuna
on this map!
One miss! One miss for Utami. One miss on that.
Tuna better be thanking the combo gods right now.
He absolutely is. 600 combo to 400 is the only reason he wins that. The accuracy in Utami's favor, the miscount in Utami's favor, and just barely at the end of the map, Utami missing on a high combo and saving Tuna's score. Because, man, that would have gone right over so quickly if Utami had not slider broken right before the end of the map. Luckily for Tuna, that does even it out. It's only 3-2 right now, and Tuna has next pick. He can try and tie it up with this next pick. So hopefully he can do so. We want to see a close match here in the bracket reset.
This is just incredible. Hard Rock 3 followed by Hard Rock 4. Having Utami put up those scores, I would run from the Hard Rock pool at this point. I mean, you did win Hard Rock 4, but not by much, and he also just won this. So
yeah, and the only reason, to be clear, the only reason Tuna actually won that pick, he had the same score as Fancy Lad yesterday, 373k. Utami, however, dropped down over 100,000 score from his score yesterday. He got 475k versus Fancy Lad and 362k here versus FlyingTuna. So it is an underperformance from Utami compared to yesterday as the reason why FlyingTuna is able to take that breakpoint. Not to downplay Tuna's play at all, because 600 combo, 4 misses on that map is incredible. Once again, very similar to what Fancy Lad was able to put up. It's just that Utami wasn't quite able to match up to what he did yesterday. Nomad 4 as the next pick for FlyingTuna is more in line with what he has already played so far in this match. He picked Antithesis second against Utami in the first round of Grand Finals. I'm surprised we haven't seen Killer Beast yet, to be frank, but he did win this pick in the first round of Grand Finals, and he's looking to do so again to even it up.
My guess is Tuna's saving Killer Beast, something that he knows he can win, for later when he needs it. That is my guess.
That actually would make a lot of sense. If he's down, he can pick Killer Beast, try and swing some momentum back in his favor. Hopefully reset mental a little bit on a map that he knows he's favored on. Meanwhile, Utami having a little bit of trouble here at the start. This was a very, very close map when they played it before, so it could go either way for either of these players. We'll hopefully see it go Tuna's way to even it up 3-3.
This map is not okay. Like, some of these patterns are just so difficult. It's actually insane how some people hit them. We saw this in Utami versus Fancy on this map, and the fact that either player was hitting these was just absolutely ridiculous. And you're seeing that right now already. Tuna building up a pretty sizable combo and accuracy, and that slider breaking on up. Okay. That's an unfortunate slider break, but it won't matter too much. Utami does break immediately after, and the accuracy is going to be pushing Tuna over the edge for this beginning part.
It is still a fairly big score lead actually at the start of the map for FlyingTuna. 30k up on Utami, 3% accuracy to 98, and now climbing as Utami drops another couple chain misses there in the first PI. This awkward aim and overlapping stacks are really giving him trouble here in the first PI, and for FlyingTuna, he's just kind of beast moding this. He's actually popping off on some of these patterns in the PI. Holding combo through this section is sort of ridiculous. You can almost see him note locking on some of these notes with a little bit of over tap, but he manages to pull off a combo through that PI time and is now at almost 500 combo on this map? What is happening? Okay.
This is actually insane from Tuna. Let's go. An absolute beast of a report. Yeah, I cannot speak right now.
Yeah, he's
absolute beast of a performance.
This is the highest combo that we've. This is the highest combo that we've seen on the map, except for yesterday, where Utami got almost 1,000 combo. So let's see if Tuna can match the 965 combo that Utami had yesterday. He's already exceeded his own maximum from earlier today. He had 601 combo versus Utami in the first round of Grand Finals, and honestly, I would not be surprised if he gets up to that 1k combo mark. He's into the second PI time now and is still holding this combo almost at 900 right now. Just going off. Utami, however, is not far behind. He's almost at 600 now. It's about 340 combo in the favor of FlyingTuna at the moment. They're both going to see the combos that they have. They're going to know that Utami has that pressure and can take this back if Tuna does drop. But man, that is 1k combo from FlyingTuna on this map.
What is this? Insane. What is that score? He's going to be breaking, which does give Utami actually a bit of an advantage here. He has 800 combo approaching now, but never mind. He
does finally find a miss, and man, both of these players waiting until the hardest part of the map to break for sure. That section with all of the anti-aim built in to these 296 BPM jumps, because that's what they may as well be, is just sort of incredible, the sorts of combos that they put up there. Probably 500,000 score from FlyingTuna on this map, by the way. So yeah, both of these players capable of putting up some fantastic scores on this map too.
That's a pretty good score. Pretty alright.
Pretty okay, yeah.
No, I would... That's expected. It's a normal occurrence, I think.
Yeah, normal play.
How many misses was that from Tuna? Out of curiosity.
Probably like 3. Okay, 7. All right. Single-digit miscount still, though. Yeah, that's fantastic. It was 20 misses for both Utami and Fancy yesterday, and it was 17 and 10 for FlyingTuna and Utami in the first round of Grand Finals. So best miscount on the map so far. 4-digit combo for FlyingTuna, 98% accuracy. Yeah, he popped off on that one.
And that's exactly what we need to see from him. Now that this is tied up, Utami is going to be following up with Hidden 2. This is the pick that was, I believe, 9,000 point difference, right?
This is not a 9,000 point difference sort of map. This is Utami returning to his original stomping ground. And actually, yeah,
no,
it was.
This was 9,000 point
okay, never mind. Yeah, well, it's still FlyingTuna on AR8 Hidden, so he's still pretty good at it. But Utami yesterday versus Fancy Lad did put up 440,000. You do expect him to improve the score from the first round of bracket reset, shake off the nerves a little bit, and get back to what he does best, which is full combo every AR8 hidden map in the game. Because when he picks AR8 hidden in tournament, he is ferocious on that sort of mapping.
Yeah, this map is just insane with its difficulty. You have to be so comfortable at reading AR8 hidden in order to play this, or you are just not going to have a fun time. Luckily, both these players are well versed in that regard. However, it's still not going to be easy for them by any means. This map is absolutely brutal. Say that about pretty much all the maps in the pool. So
yeah, it is kind of an over 8-star pool. You know, all of these maps are just a little bit hard. This is
a tiny bit.
Yeah, this one, however, is the lowest star rating in the pool, so clearly it's the easiest. I mean, you know, only 6 stars for this one. It's not that bad, right? It's definitely not that bad. It can't be that bad. It's not even 7 stars. Come on, man.
All right, we'll be getting into it right here, and you already see some of the hardcore reading stuff. A lot of patterns and awkward jumps, awkward rhythms, all sorts of just awkward stuff. Not really much you could say, and that's just consistent throughout the entire map, really. We're going to be seeing Utami with an early miss. Should not matter too much, but Tuna is holding the SS right now. Never mind.
Yeah.
Goodbye the SS, but he's still holding the combo. At least he's got that going for him.
Yeah, goodbye accuracy, but secondary gameplay element. Combo mattering first here for Tuna for sure. Looking fairly good in the intro section, but players finding their footing on AR8 hidden is definitely a common occurrence, and it seems like Utami has mostly found his. These wide-angle jumps, though, giving him a little bit more trouble than in the first round of Grand Finals. FlyingTuna now looking very, very strong on the low approach rate hidden pick, and Utami not looking quite as comfortable as he did in either of the other 2 matches where this was played. FlyingTuna on these wide, low-aim jumps is just beast moding. He's hitting everything.
Okay, I guess it's Tuna's time to pop off now. We like it. We're hidden enjoyers. We're hidden enjoyers. Tuna is too.
Tuna is very much enjoying the hidden modification right now. 600 combo on this? Yeah, that's not okay. That's the highest combo that we've seen on this map all weekend so far, by the way. So this is probably going to be the highest score that we have seen so far. He's already passed Fancy Lad's score from yesterday, by the way. This already beats Fancy Lad's score from yesterday.
He's still FC the map.
He's still going. He's still going, and he has 98 accuracy. He finally misses. He finally misses. But he's already at the score that he put up earlier today. He's already at 380k. He's about to pass 396k as well, which was Utami's score from earlier today. He really should not have too much trouble closing this out. It's 150,000 score lead for FlyingTuna. So even though Utami has about 300 combo right now on FlyingTuna,
how did these players hit that?
Man.
What?
Man.
Do I just... What? Am I witnessing this correctly? And
Why
this
play
actually could be problematic. Now Utami has 400 combo advantage with AC advantage to boot. There's still a fourth of the map remaining.
There's a 100,000 score lead for Tuna as a buffer here, but yeah, that combo lead and accuracy lead for Utami is a little scary. Tuna has to hold as much combo as possible to make this happen, because otherwise Utami, right on his heels with a big combo of his own, could just pull it back. He does find a miss, though.
That's not going to be happening. I was going to say that would be absolutely incredible if he managed to do that, but I just do not see that happening, unfortunately. It's going to be Tuna taking his first lead this match, 4-3 now.
That's actually massive as well. That's a breakpoint. That was Utami's pick. So now Tuna with almost 500k on this map is deservedly up the breakpoint now 4-3. Gonna try to make it 5-3 with his next pick, and despite a very dominant performance from Utami in the first round of Grand Finals, Tuna seemingly coming into his own in the bracket reset here, where the pressure is on, where it truly matters for him to win at all costs to secure that championship. He's able to take out the breakpoint.
The miscount from both players is actually insane. 4 miss and 5 miss from Tuna and Utami, respectively. What? Like, both of those scores against literally any other player would have probably been enough. Unless you're playing a Koro, but I mean... Yeah.
I mean, put it another way, Fancy Lad got 300k. Those scores are absolutely incredible in match.
Okay,
both of them.
Here we go.
Yeah, there it is. That's actually kind of what I expected, because when you're already up the breakpoint, you want to solidify it. You want to make sure that you keep that breakpoint alive, and Killer Beast is an almost surefire way for Flying Tuna to do so. Utami has lost it once versus Fancy Lad and once versus Tuna already this weekend. I would be surprised if Utami is able to pull out the breakpoint here.
Hey, Utami getting... Well, not Utami, but Tuna getting a comeback mounted here now. 500k on the past 2 maps, Nomad 4 and Hidden 2. I hope to God he won't get hit 500k on Hidden 3. Like, I hope not, but...
Yeah. If he does, man, I just don't know at that point. Yeah, let's put it in context. The top hidden score on the leaderboard is Ryunata with an 1100 combo, 90% accuracy, followed by Ryuke and Okinama with 93 and 94 accuracy for both of them, and around 700 combo for each. So even the plays that we saw earlier in Flying Tuna versus Utami, 600-700 combo for each of those players, is a leaderboard play with him already. So doing much better in patch is honestly insane. We do see an early break on some of the space and cut speed for Flying Tuna.
That's actually massive.
Yeah, he's having a lot of trouble adjusting.
It seems like he's adjusted relatively okay now. Utami is also going to be dropping his combo advantage, so it's not going to be the end of the world. That was a bit scary at the beginning there, though. Seems like things have settled down now for the most part, though. It's just going to be Tuna building up his... Never mind.
Yeah,
maybe I shouldn't mention combo anymore. That's probably a good idea.
To be fair, those square jumps took out his combo in the first round as well, so he is just generally not great at that specific pattern, but it's enough to give a pretty sizable combo lead now over to Utami with another set of misses coming out of Flying Tuna in the slowdown section here. Both players hitting the wide angle triangle jump, but Tuna misaiming the slider stream afterwards means Utami now with about a 300 combo lead and 10,000 score to boot. 2% or 1.5% accuracy for him as well. So Flying Tuna definitely on the back foot now, and this is at this rate looking like a breakpoint for Utami. Still about half the map to go.
There's still half the map remaining. This is not a solidified breakpoint by any means. We still have half the map. This map does not let up at all. Which is kind of ironic to say during this section, but I mean, when it gets going, it just doesn't stop, and we're going to be getting back into it right here.
Both players
Utami hitting that stream, that's huge! In the square, after what? Wait a second.
This is the combo.
That combo actually might be enough.
Okay, they both hit the 220 stream, but Utami hits the transition to the space 1/3 stream right afterwards, and hits the square jumps on the sliders as well. That is big score lead now, 50k in his favor. Its accuracy evened out and combo evened out for both players as well, so it's a complete wipe on any advantages for either player aside from that score. Utami is poised to take this, just needs to continue comboing into the last quarter of the map. Flying Tuna needs to do all he can to hold on to some high combo here in the last quarter and hopefully
Utami
breaks.
slider breaks. I think it's gonna need a bit more than that in order to shift it, but Utami misses on the stream as well.
And Tuna's comboing these. He's hitting the cut streams. He's hit the slider streams as well. He continues to combo into the last quarter. This is exactly what he needed to happen for Utami to miss and for him to combo where it really matters. Look at that score lead. It's almost evaporated now in the favor of FlyingTuna. It's less than 5,000 scores. Utami finds more misses to boot. FlyingTuna just barely is able to take it back. FlyingTuna misses as well. It's going to come down to the very last slider.
Wait a sec, wait!
There's a 300 decide it.
The spin into win! Utami wins!
Oh my god! He didn't notice the spinner! He didn't notice the spinner! At the end of the map, he started the spinner late, and Tuna actually loses because of it. It is the absolute slightest margin of victory possible at the end of the map because it was several hundred points in favor of FlyingTuna to now less than 200 in favor of Utami simply because the spinner was started late. Oh my god, what a way to tie it up!
What just happened? Am I watching a match right now? Am I casting a match? Is this real? That is just... That is a steal and a half for Utami, and that is exactly what he needed after losing Hidden 2. Tied score now, and it's back to his pick.
Victory snatched from the jaws of defeat for Utami, and defeat snatched from the jaws of victory for FlyingTuna. It is so devastating to lose a pick in such a close manner. Spin to win at the very end of the map for Utami.
I want to clarify.
To tie it up as well, that is just insane.
I want to clarify, Tuna did not start spinning late. They were both spinning at the same time, it's just Utami was faster. That was straight up what made the difference.
I apologize for seeing it wrong then, but regardless, that is basically the closest margin of victory that you can get.
That was still a spin to win. Both players spun, and Utami spun faster. So he won. That is the definition of spin to win.
Yeah, and now we go into a map where, man, if you're looking at multifaceted maps like Hidden 3, this is pretty much the exact opposite. Hard Rock 1, 250 BPM jump aim, and that's basically all there is to it. If you can hit most of the jumps in this map, there's a few bursts here and there throughout, some of them fairly long, but for these players, 250 BPM not going to be too much of an issue when juxtaposed just with the jump aim that fills the rest of this map.
This is easily probably one of the most generic maps in the pool. Not really much to say about this. If you've played an aim map, you've played this. It's just this is slightly more space, probably. Also, fun fact, this is a male vocalist. Glad to have ruined the song for you.
Man, you didn't need to bring up what they said on Showcase. You didn't need to say none of that.
Well, it's a grand finals match. I can do what I want.
Apparently Utami is going to be doing what he wants as well, holding on to the combo through the start of the map. It is accuracy advantage for FlyingTuna, and some pretty ridiculous accuracy as well, 99.5% for him. But Utami is holding on to the combo, and that's really what matters right now. 240 combo in his favor, and he had some really, really high combo on this versus I'm a Fancy Lad. In fact, 1200 combo versus I'm a Fancy Lad yesterday. So I'm expecting a good score from him here.
And but Tuna not too far behind. The accuracy is what's keeping it competitive right now. 200 combo lead for Utami, but AC advantage 2% for Tuna. And it's really just going to come down to who misses next right now. It's going to be
And it's gonna
both
be both of them.
players,
Both of
as
them
a
at the
matter
same
of
time.
fact. So that doesn't mean anything.
Well, it does actually help out FlyingTuna a little bit. Don't forget about that accuracy lead that he has, still above 99%. Both players reset a second time in that first PI, but once again, it's FlyingTuna with a 1.6% accuracy advantage, but he keeps finding these slider breaks on some of the slider jumps, so that accuracy lead is starting to go away. It's starting to move a little bit towards Utami bit by bit. Utami definitely struggling to get above that 98% mark, but if Tuna does drop the ack a few more times, that won't matter quite as much. And to boot, the combo lead, never mind, is back in Tuna's favor, along with the accuracy lead now. So this score lead, less than 30k, can go over to FlyingTuna if he's able to hold.
We have a little slow part here before the next chorus. So we'll be Tuna building up a bit of score. Not enough to solidify the lead quite yet, but hitting that jump section is going to be very big for him. He's going to need to hold this as long as possible, because Utami has built up his accuracy now. It's almost relatively... Okay, never mind. Utami is actually going to be dropping, and that's pretty big for Tuna.
Yeah, that's
Utami.
huge. This is night and day compared to yesterday with 1200 combo for Utami
With
yesterday.
Tuna.
And now, consistent resets. It's a reset for both players at the end of the second PI, 2/3 of the way through the map
7k
now.
difference!
Yeah, it is neck and neck.
There's only a fourth of the map remaining, and Tuna's ack advantage is what's keeping him alive right now. But any miss from either player is what's gonna decide it. And there's still a hard part left.
Yeah, we've got to see the last PI for both of these players. Missing during this calmer section can completely ruin the score for either player. It is within 10,000 score. It's anybody's map at this point. It's the slight accuracy advantage for FlyingTuna. They're going to see the tied up combos. They're going to see the scores within 11,000 of each other. And yeah, those nerves are going to skyrocket going into the last PI time here at the end of the map.
Utami is going to be the one to break. And I think that's actually just going to straight up seal it, because Tuna does follow up. Oh wait!
And Tuna drops a lot of accuracy
That
as well.
actually is massive!
It's also 50 combo lead for Utami. It's only 10,000 score. The lead at the moment. Tuna maybe has given this up. It's going to be so close here at the end of the map. But the accuracy drops for Utami and the combo drops for Utami.
It's just going
at
back
the end of the
and
map.
forth.
Youth come through. And Tuna needs to break at this point if it's to go over to Utami. And this is
I
his
think
pick.
it's Tuna. Tuna has
We're
this,
still-
I think. Relatively slow section, so I think Tuna has this.
Yeah, this ending is definitely not as intense as a lot of the PI times. It does
That
just
was
likely go over
dicey.
to Tuna.
That was dicey. But Tuna will be managing a break point, taking the lead back 5-4. And it's his pick next.
And that's Breakpoint, by the way. That was Utami's pick. He picked into Hard Rock 1, hoping to recreate the score from yesterday, and was far from it. This time around, the nerves here at the end of bracket reset maybe getting to him, because the aim was just not quite as on point as it was yesterday against I'm a Fancy Lad. And now FlyingTuna with some added confidence, with another Breakpoint lead, gonna be going into the next pick. Going to go get some water as well to make sure that he is good to go for his next map. And I'm honestly really wondering what he's gonna go for. He barely won on Hard Rock 1, he won on Hidden 2, and has lost on Hidden 3 just barely. It was basically neck and neck. I kind of want to see Hidden 4 get picked here from FlyingTuna. He has done so well on the Hidden Pool throughout these matches so far, and in the first round of bracket reset, or of grand finals. I think it would be a disservice to pick not Hidden 4 next.
Yeah, what is left? We got Nomad 1, Nomad 6, Hidden 4, Hard Rock 2, and Double Time 2. Those are the only picks left. One from each mod pool and 2 from Nomad.
Yeah, and after Hard Rock 1 going that way, I don't know if either player wants to pick Nomad 1, right? I mean, it is just going to be so close between the two.
It's going to be hard attacking Lucy.
Yeah, but you know what else is CS 7.15 on an 8-star version of Goodbye, Mr. Jack.
Oh no!
FlyingTuna going with the
these nerves
later on, and yeah, Utami down the breakpoint, trying to play into Hard Rock 2 with those kinds of nerves. I love this pick from FlyingTuna. Actually, I think this is going to work out very well for him. I want to see this get played in the real match as well. CS 7.15 in tournament is so tough to be consistent on, but if you're up the breakpoint, if you have that confidence going in from some of the previous Hard Rock picks, you can definitely perform on it.
Just 3 minutes and 30 seconds of just absolute precision aim. And with a match like this, nerves are going to be running high. There is no chance you're going to be FCing this. But both players holding their own through the start of this, and these jumps are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, 7.8 star jumps on CS 7.15. It's very understandable that we see a couple of misses on those jumps for Utami. FlyingTuna following up with a couple of misses of his own, but both players really just struggling to put together the consistent combo, and that's exactly what you expect on something like this. The jump aim at this star rating is just so insane with circles this small. It's a slight combo lead for Utami, who now actually starts to pull ahead because of this about 80 combo lead that he has right now. It's still super close between the two players.
Yeah, this is all about who has the more consistent combos, pretty much. And so far, it's just neither player can get it. Neither player is able to get a consistent combo right now. The score gap is pretty much just non-existent.
And when you have inconsistent combos like this, the accuracy starts to matter a lot more. Look for these drops from either player to start mattering a lot more. We saw Tuna drop the ack on the slider stream and the score immediately flicker over to Utami's side. If either player can get a consistent combo together, that's what's going to really matter. But consistent breaks, consistent misses, consistent drops in accuracy matter that much more when the players' combos are so minuscule like this. And this extra combo coming together for Utami is starting to matter a little bit. We see now 20k score in his favor, in addition to a % lead in the accuracy department.
That can easily shift over at pretty much any point, though. Over Tuna missing on quite easy patterns. The nerves probably getting to him a bit here. Is not going to be helping matters much. The score gap is now 40k and only growing. And this combo that Utami has built up is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, this pick is, this combo
He's
is not
these
just
one
nice.
thirds.
This is like,
He's
this
hitting
is
these
insane.
1/3, I think. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, these... Let's be clear, anything besides the jumps is easy in this map, because when you get that kind of spacing on CS 7.15, it becomes hard no matter who you are. But now 70k score up on a map like this, even accuracy to boot, there's not a lot that Tuna can do here in the last quarter of the map, besides pray for Utami to have some kind of disaster happen to his combo and accuracy at the end of the map. And
but
for
Tuna's
him to just combo.
oh, wait. Okay, well, Utami did have a bit of a struggle there, but he's recovered nicely now, and Tuna doesn't really have any combo to match up with it either, so... Unless there is just a complete breakdown on one of these bursts, which might happen.
It did happen there for Utami, but unfortunately FlyingTuna just does not have the combo to take advantage of the act drops that are happening for Utami. And in addition, he's having some act troubles of his own. Even with all of these drops, even with all these misses coming through for Utami, look at the score lead, it's still 40k in his favor. He doesn't have to be worried. We're at the end of the map. No spin to win happening this time around. It's Utami taking back a breakpoint once again. 4 breakpoints in a row now for both of these players, and we are at 5-5.
This is a matchup. This is night and day comparison compared to the earlier matchup.
Yeah, it went from very one-sided towards Utami in the first round of Grand Finals, now to basically as close as you can get. Both players are going to be giving their last picks right now. It's going to be the last pick for Utami into the last pick for FlyingTuna when we are at 5-5 here. Either one player wins both and
Nomad
the match
6
is over. Oh,
Oh.
man. Large circle incident once again. CS 7.5 right into CS 1.5. And this map, just like a lot of these other polyrhythm tech maps that you get in Nomad 6, is all about the adjustments to the different beat snap divisors all over the place in this map.
If I am correct, this was indeed picked last time against Tuna, and Utami somehow, don't ask me how, Zero missed this.
Yep. Only slider breaks for Utami in the first round. Large circle incident definitely going his way. 93% act, 500k on a Nomad pick in Grand Finals. Absolutely ridiculous score for sure. And he's hoping to repeat it once again. He won on this versus Plancy Lad, he won on it versus FlyingTuna in the first round, and he's going to try to win on it a third time in a row.
So far, looking pretty good for him. Tuna going to be early dropping as well as massive act drops from him in general. It's going to be helping Utami a lot here in this beginning section. This map is just not... This map is just not comboable. But they are making it look comboable.
Clearly it is, because the players are comboing. They're going through it, and he's hitting
How
the
do you
space
combo
stream.
that?
He's hitting the space stream. He does finally miss, actually, and the accuracy is going to be doing a lot of the work right now. 70k score advantage for Utami right now. It's almost double score. FlyingTuna down at 100,000 scores compared to the 170k, now 180k for Utami. Utami dropping
Utami's
combo,
slider
however,
break
finding
could
a slider
be
breaking.
huge. Never mind. It's not as huge as I thought it was going to be, but those misses at the end could be. So now Tuna does have very, very slight combo advantage. It would take another miss from Utami to really solidify it, but the accuracy is almost identical now. And Utami is actually going to be slider breaking, I believe, on that.
He's finding a lot more combo breaks on this the second time around in this match than he did the first time around, and Tuna, despite the low accuracy, is able to contest Utami on this pick this time around. It's only a 30k score lead. This is not at all solidified for Utami. He needs to hold on to the combo in order to hold on to the point here. It's now a 20k score
Utami,
lead. And
no!
he evaporated! He chain misses and gives it over to FlyingTuna. Tuna's comboing the ending as well.
How is he hitting this ending? What? What? UFC that ending?
Cursor go burr indeed. Cursor go burr indeed. He goes all the way maxed out cursor velocity to hit the space streams and all of the doubles at the end of the map. He does not care about that transition from CF 7.15 to 1.5. Tuna is here to game, and that's our 5th breakpoint in a row. 6 to 5, excuse me, in Tuna's favor. Match point in the bracket reset with the next pick.
And if you're Tuna, you got a choice between Nomad 1, Hidden 4, and Double Time 2. That is all that's left.
Oh, he's not picking DT2. I'll tell you that much. He's not going for DT2. I would not want to play that again.
You have a choice of 2 picks, one of which we already know is a bit RNG for both these players because they chain missed quite frequently on that map, and one of them is Nomad 1.
Oh man, do we actually see it?
And we're seeing and we're going to be seeing the chain miss map.
Okay.
This is going to be so stressful.
No kill hold. We were talking about this pick earlier. We said how close this was in the first round. It came down to whoever chain missed less, basically. Whoever no blocked less on Hidden 4 here. Technical Master. The spacing on these 160 BPM streams is so massive, along with a lot of the back and forth streams, wiggle back and forth streams, that you need to tap correctly or just completely note lock an entire stream. The accuracy lower for FlyingTuna, the miscount far higher for Utami, made this another less than 10,000 score victory for Utami in the first round of Grand Finals. And here it is, the final pick of the match for either player. If FlyingTuna wins this, he's crowned champion, and if Utami wins, we go to tiebreaker. Good luck, have fun, are out. Let's get into Hidden Four.
This is gonna be so stressful to watch. This is the outcome of the match determined by this map. A map that was, if I am correct, won by less than 10k points by Utami the last go-around. And we're already seeing the nerves kick in. We got the act drops from both players. Utami struggling early on here.
Oh man, this early combo break scheme from Utami is a little tough to watch. Tuna did have a really good go of the intro last time around,
Tuna does miss,
and now finds a couple of misses. This is the same sort of pattern.
This is the shortest map.
Tuna SF'd
This is the shortest
intro last
map.
time.
No walks everywhere.
God. Yeah.
This is what we were
both of them
talking about. This is just a no-walk city.
Both of them are just having so much trouble trying to get the hang of this map, and as we see so much no-block coming through for either player, you can chain this so easily on some of these patterns because of how high the spacing is, because these are all just continuous streams, both of them hitting those cut doubles.
Tuna is going to be comboing massively on this wall. Tommy's hitting it.
Tommy's just comboing through. He finally drops at the very end of it. It's combo reset for both players, though, and they're less than 10,000 score apart. It's completely down to the second half of the map as FlyingTuna finds another couple of misses, another couple of act drops. It's still just coming down to barely any score difference whatsoever between two of them.
It is anyone's game. A no-lock on anything could decide it. Utami is going to be dropping his combo as well.
Hypersonic.
Tuna's still holding.
Tuna finds a slider break. Tuna finds a slider break, and Utami is able to hold the combo. It's less than a quarter of the map left. We're into the final
Tuna
seconds.
no walks.
Tuna chain misses. Tuna chain misses. Drops the accuracy. Utami is able to hold on. 95% accuracy for Utami. Chain misses. He chain misses the ending. But Tuna is not holding on to high combo. No, Utami drops a ton of combo again. Tuna drops as well. It's down to the very end of the map, but it's Utami at the end, 20k score lead. Chain misses for both of them. Keep it even with Utami holding on to barely any score lead, and we are into tiebreaker.
What?
This match is insane. This match is so damn good.
What is happening, dude?
Let's go bracket reset tiebreaker. It cannot be any closer than this. You love to see it in a grand final, and these players hate to see it because their nerves are through the roof. 180 BPM heart rate. Here we go into an almost 270 BPM snap aim alt tiebreaker. We saw this in the show match earlier today between Takedo and Matthew. The aim requirement for this is through the roof. It's another one of those maps, well over 8 stars, 8.25 stars, 5.5 minutes long, AR10 tiebreaker. You know it has to be at this sort of star rating, and we are ready for... We're ready for this tournament to come to a close, is what we're ready for.
Put on your suit and tie. We're ready for the grand finals tiebreaker. A relatively high BPM one at that, 270 almost, 8.25 stars. This is a map.
Yeah, this is a map and a half with how long it is as well. Both of these players are ready to go. Apparently FlyingTuna is sight reading this. There's actually not a lot of reading strain in this map. If you're familiar with maps like Gensdarm, if you're familiar with maps like the Azure Arbitrator, you will do fairly well on this map. But there are 268 BPM bursts. There are lots of 1/3s which come out to around 220, 230 BPM in this map as well. And those 1/3 streams can get spaced, accelerated, decelerated as well. So you need to be on your game for both the aim and tapping in this map if you want to come out on top.
We were already talking about how nerves would play a huge factor, and it's just... Imagine the nerves right now. Just put yourself in these players' shoes. You've been playing for almost 2.5 hours. and it's down to one last map, and it's a tiebreaker. You have got to be just shaking immensely right now.
Yeah, this is just something else, man. Both of these players have got to be having it so rough at the moment. Utami does find an early miss at the start of the map. FlyingTuna dropping quite a lot of accuracy in comparison, but the score lead really not going to go anywhere here at the start. We need to see a big combo get built up for really anything substantial to happen in this map.
Yeah, this is the tiebreaker. This is the longest map, so early breaks like this not going to matter too much. It's more about consistent combos, or rather high combos, if you can manage that. And Tuna is building his up quite nicely here. He's going to be hitting that 270 BPM stream. So he does get a bit of a... Okay, never mind! Oh my god!
He overstreams the 1/3 stream, and that right there is the difference maker in preparation for
Tommy's
this map.
hitting these.
Those spaced 1/3 streams are still 220 plus BPM. You need to be prepared for something like that in this style of map. It's not something you necessarily expect when you go into an alt snap style tiebreaker, and FlyingTuna is caught completely off guard by it. Utami, meanwhile, hitting those and being rewarded with a massive combo lead. 650 combo up on FlyingTuna now.
This is a nice combo from him. If he can hold it a bit longer, the score gap will become a lot more immense. I am actually shaking right now, and I'm not even playing what is happening. This map is just so brutal, though, and Utami is finally going to be breaking. He did hold the combo for a bit longer, but his accuracy is what's killing him now. And with those drops, Tuna's going to be taking the score advantage again.
And this is just back and forth, all match long and all map long as well. This is basically as close as it gets. It's a 3% act lead, by the way, for FlyingTuna right now, as he holds on to about a 300 combo lead in addition. Getting into more of this jump aim, but at about the halfway point, you should start to get some of those streams to come back. There's one of the 270 BPM streams, one of the 1/3 streams. He almost overaimed that. He barely saves it at the end of the stream as well. That was clutch from FlyingTuna.
That is actually insane on a sight read. How do you do that, dude? Oh my god. Well, combos are evened out now. There hasn't been a miss from either player. It's just mostly the AC advantage and slight combo advantage of 300 that's doing Tuna in right now. Tuna dropping massive accuracy on the 1/3 there. Won't matter too much at the moment, but...
No, act is that secondary gameplay element right now. Utami and Tuna both combo gaming their hearts out at the moment. 95 and 93% accuracy for Tuna and Utami, respectively. But Tuna up about 300 combos still, neither of them missing.
And Utami is going to be
on the
missing,
stream.
but Tuna's just hitting it! Tuna now has a 1k combo advantage into this part. And he's just hitting these, he's hitting everything!
How do you sight read this? How do you sight read a 1/3 stream into those 1/2 single tap stacked directly underneath it? That was absolutely insane. He finally breaks, but look at the damage dealt. It's almost 100,000 score lead for Tuna right now, and Utami just does not have a combo to try and take advantage of that break from Tuna. There's a quarter of the map left, and with that big of a score advantage, you have to think that this is well favored towards FlyingTuna.
It would take an utter collapse from Tuna right now in order to change things up. And, I mean, considering what I've seen this match, I don't think that's entirely not possible, but... both players are going to be hitting that 1/3 stream, and that's going to make things a lot more dicey. Tommy's going to be missing again. I think that's about it.
I think that's about it. It was so close all throughout the match, but Tuna, sight rating that type of patterning is absolutely rack. You do not see that from basically any other player. The ability to sight read one of those 1/3 streams into perfect stacked single taps directly underneath, despite that chain miss. It's really just not going to matter. More than enough damage has been done. There's still a 100,000 score lead here for Tuna. That is GG well played, and that is the tournament.
Tuna is going to be your Corsace Closed 2021 champion after what has been an absolutely insane match, going all the way from bracket reset to tiebreaker. And Tuna 10 missing this on a sight read. You can't really be mad at that.
No, you really cannot. That was absolutely incredible from FlyingTuna. What a sight read. What a play in general. Even if that's not a sight read, what a play overall. 120,000 score up on the tiebreaker at the end of the match. You have to give credit where credit is due. Even if he practiced that map, that score is still absolutely nutty. And that is how you make a statement after getting a really rough time in the first round of grand finals and being taken to tiebreaker. You, as the top seed in the winner's bracket, make that statement in the tiebreaker and say, no, even if I'm sight reading, I'm still going to win and I'm still going to take first place. GG, well played.
A heartbreaking loss from Utami considering the bracket reset prior, but an absolutely insane comeback from Tuna on some of those maps. Those scores that he was putting up later on were absolutely ridiculous.
It really was. That, however, just about does it for the entire tournament. We've got a couple of thanks to give here at the end. Thank you to everybody who participated in Corsace Closed as a player. We want to thank all of the staff as well. Let's roll the slideshow and see where we're going here. We've got all the players rolling up through the credits. Thank you to everybody who participated. The top 24 who qualified put up a fantastic showing in all of their matches throughout about the last 2 months worth of the tournament. It was an honor to be able to cast all of those matches, as well as for the staff to host such fantastic players who made this an incredibly competitive event. We also want to thank all of the staff who were here throughout the tournament, making this possible despite how competitive the players make the overall tournament. It does not happen without this incredibly long list of dedicated people who worked on this tournament for months on end, not only in actually running and executing the tournament, but also in preparing so many of the maps beforehand. This mapper list just keeps going on, doesn't it? Because that's how many people were working on this tournament, trying to make it as good as possible for all of the players here, and it definitely turned out very well.
What an insane tournament. It started with, I don't even know how many people signed up for qualifiers, narrowed down to, I believe, 16, if I'm correct.
I think 24 from the play-in stage. We have the
24
top 8 buys into the round of 16, and then 24 or 16 of them in the play-in stage, competing for a spot in the round of 16.
And there can only be one winner. Hey, thanks to you. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you, Fiery, for casting.
Thank you.
For being here, for playing.
We'll see you guys for Corsace Open 2021. The grand tournament that a lot of people have been waiting for.
Yeah, this is just a preview of the Corsace Open. Corsace Open, if you don't know, if you are new to the tournament scene coming here from the main client, Corsace Open is an annual tournament that takes place in the fall, usually late July or early August to September. Follow Corsace on Twitter. Use !donate to make the stakes even higher for the Corsace Open. If you enjoyed this matchup, the entire map pool is custom made for Corsace Open, so it's going to be even more competitive, even higher quality there, and we want to make those stakes as high as possible as well.
Make it a tournament to remember. We'll see you guys for Corsace Open.
Thank you all for watching. Fiery and I signing out here. It was a pleasure to cast. It was a pleasure to staff, and we'll see you all soon.
Feels like they come and go, you know I'm here to stay. Lifetime to live, but I just
Donate to
wanna
Corsace.
push away. What if you say